Welcome to the Backgammon Christmas calendar. 24 points of Christmas. The 8 Point by Grandmaster Mark Olsen.
Merry Christmas, Backgammon fans. Today is the 8th of December. So for that reason, we're gonna talk about the 8 Point today. We have the opening position. We have your 8 Point right over here. We begin with 3 checkers on the 8 Point. It's a quite important point. It's not as important as the bar point or the golden point or the silver point, but it still plays a pretty main role in the game, and especially because we start out having the 8 Point, and we have this extra builder on the 8 Point as well. So when the game begins, we typically use the checkers on the 8 Point as builders to build even better points, inner board points, or points in our prime. The 8 Point itself is also part of our prime, because as long as our 6 prime ranges from the 8 Point down to the 3 Point, the 8 Point is part of that structure. If we make the deuce point, all of a sudden the 8 Point is, let's say like we have the deuce point made over here. Now the 8 Point and the deuce point, they don't talk well together because it's not part of the same 6 prime range. So now you kind of have to decide that you probably want to switch over and see if you can make a better point than the 8 Point. The 8 Point loses a little bit of its value after you make the deuce point. But as it is in the opening game, it's still a good point. The moment your opponent starts to split the back checker, so let's say, for instance, let's say I'm purple here. I roll a 4 and a 5 in the opening. So I'm going to split with a 4, and I'm going to bring a 5 down from the midpoint. Now you roll a 3-2. A 3 and a deuce. Here we go. The best play here is to hit loose with a spare checker from the 8 and bring a builder down. We fight for the golden point. So that's quite useful to have that builder here on the 8 Point to do that. And next time, if we have the chance, let's say I come in with a, I don't know, a 1-5, I know that's a hitter. 1-6, maybe I come in like this. No, that's a bad example. Let's say I dance double sixes, don't have to worry about it. Now you would be happy to roll a 3 and to break the 8 Point to make the 5 Point. We would, of course we would do that. The 5 Point is much better than the 8 Point. Hey guys, remember to download and play on the Backgammon Galaxy app. But if, let's say another example here, where we might be a little bit further into the game. So I might be up on your 5 Point here with one of my back checkers. And for whatever reason, you have a split, a stripped 8 Point. Now it's not the same, right? Because if we were to hit loose with a 3, you would be breaking your 8 Point. This is not as strong. You're giving up structure. We don't like to do that. We might do it sometimes. If you really want to hit, it might be okay, but it's not a powerful hit because we just gave up something that was part of our priming structure. So rather than that, we would like to have a situation where you would have unloaded your builders from the midpoint and brought them down into your priming zone, and preferably added another spare checker to the 8 Point so that you could hit loose without giving up the 8 Point. So overall, in the opening game, the 8 Point functions as material. The moment you strip the 8 Point, you kind of want to get another builder down there, another spare checker, so you don't have to give up the 8 Point if you want to hit loose or you need to build something. So the 8 Point is part of your prime, especially when your opponent starts to step up. Now it's a priming point, right? Because it blocks numbers in the direct range. And when he's outside of the range, it's building material to build even better points. So it's useful, it's very useful. Later on in the game, when we get into racing positions, it's also useful because the 8 Point is safe landing for the rest of your checkers behind it. And eventually, when the midpoint has been cleared, now you need to clear from the rear and clear the 8 Point. But that was a long, I mean, this is far into the game, right? You had to clear your back checkers, you had to clear the midpoint. Okay, now it's the 8 Point's turn to be cleared. But the 8 point was an asset all along. That's it, guys, for today. This was an episode on the 8 point. Merry 8th of December to everybody, and see you all tomorrow in the next video.
Merry Christmas, Backgammon fans!